What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away, fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake at the back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping now. Beat the odds, beat the big house. Our brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away, burn away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake up to the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's mistakes. Wake up to the back of the pack, kill it anyway. And we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake up to the back of the pack, kill it anyway. To blame, haters face the world's
All right, I guess with the raid we'll start a little sooner. That was very nice. Cope and Seethe, Beckett with the raid. They were covering the Rakita stuff, which, by the way, I was like listening to your stream and flipping back and forth between that and Kino Casino at the same time, trying to get caught up to speed on Rakita. There's so much there. I hope you guys are ready for some shrimp hype. Lo and behold, our big boy Shrimpy, that is what I refer to when I talk about In Praise of Shadows. Hello. I hope everybody's doing well. I'm doing wonderful. Thank you for asking, chat. Pookie is here. Pookie is here. But I want to see the chat box loaded with shrimps. Fried shrimp, unfried, you know, I'll take whatever. I'm not picky. I'm not picky. I ate some shrimp for dinner today, actually. Grilled shrimp. So I'm prepped. I've eaten my daily allotment of shrimp. Honestly, unironically, completely unplanned too for that. It was just what I had. But that's what I like to see. My shrimp ship post was supposed to be seen by like 8 people and it went viral. Thank you for the raid, Beckett. Thank you. But there's so many shrimps in the chat. This is so fucking good. Yeah, so In Praise of Shadows, if you haven't seen it, the last stream was quite the banger of In Praise of Shadows. Absolutely fumbling the bag on an expose video. It's absolutely horrendous. And we've been blessed. Luckily enough, one of the people in here, our good old Nani. Nani has been the woman on the inside. Getting the leaks on Shrimpy, all from the Discord, and it has. Diesel was actually early to the situation. You know, when the situation first started, nobody gave a fuck about it, right? That was the thing. Nobody cared. and it was like me and Smaggle talking about it, and everybody else was like kind of cared about it, and then it all just kind of spiraled out of control because people finally got around to watching it, and then it just started from there. But yeah, I mean, like I was bringing it up to people being like, "This video is ridiculous. You need to watch this video. This video is crazy. You need to see this video." So that was nice to see it all kind of unfold itself. So that was great to watch happen in real time as everything started to occur. Yeah, she can drop her links. She can drop her links. Absolutely. I'm wearing shorts today, but I have really fat thighs. Because I be squatting and shit. So, I was a little uncomfy. I needed to adjust my yacht there, okay? Sorry, what the Sigma? There's a lot here from the Discord. There's a lot here for the Discord. I don't even know. Okay, so we'll work backwards from this. We'll work backwards. Because there was the Twitter apology, which I'm almost certain we have in this thread. If not, hopefully we do. I'll go find it. Promise it's 90% gold. Here we go. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Let me go pull it up. I resent the I resent the better screenshots. I'll tag you. Yeah, feel free to tag me. Let me download these. I was trying to go live. I have this video coming out and I'm trying to prioritize that, but I also really like streaming, so it's kind of like, you're trying to manage both of those at the same time, and it's difficult. There we go. I made a shrimpy folder. Where is my video, Diesel? Did we not have a discussion about it being tomorrow? And tomorrow is tomorrow, not today. So yeah, there should be a video tomorrow. Given the time scale of everything on that project. When you say like that, you sound like Hal. Okay, what is it with all the women in my life yelling at me? What is this, chat? What does it mean? What do they mean by this? There we go. There's quite a few tweets here. Nani might have resent them, but now I'm already in the process of like putting them in my files. So I just don't want to stop. Did you just compare me to another woman friend? Dude, there's no winning. It's no winning. Oh no. Oh no. I repinged you. Okay. I will take a gander in a moment. I made the mistake, and I do this all the time, where I'm like, okay, I'm going live, and then I don't. What about the men in your life, bro? The men in my life don't yell at me. The men in my life are little guys. The women in my life are always be scolding me. They always be scolding me. All right. We'll get to those after I read his apologies. No, you see, if you were a German psychologist, I would say something to do with your relationship with your mother. But since I'm not, maybe you just like hanging with those types of women. There we go. And then we'll start with that. There's quite a bit here. There we go. Boom, boom. And boom. Don't do anything they need to scold you for, and they wouldn't. Well, like... I don't know. I don't know what to say to that, you know? Like... I just have such a way to annoy people, you know what I mean? Here we go. Oh yeah, let me turn on the browser.
You attract what you like.
There we go. Diesel went to submissive and scoldable. Where's the Mana Potion Coffee link? Let me throw that up in there. We just had somebody we booked today. I just sent it, you goober. Okay, I'll pin it. I'll pin it. I'll pin it. Nani did a lot of work for this anyway, so let me pin that. There we go. Anyway, this is how the thread started, and it was quite the thread. Now, I should say that this was received very poorly, and he privated his Twitter account, and with good reason, right? And he was like, a thread about the last few days. Many people have said very fair criticism of me and my work, that I did not appropriately portray people, and I would like to address that. Now, what's interesting about this apology is kind of how he didn't apologize at all, or this wasn't addressing any of the fair criticisms, right? Because what happens with these types of people is that the second that they're criticized is that it becomes more about like the identity politics of it and trying to look good, right? And again, it's a lot of like he's looking at other people's opinions to form his opinions of these people, right? So Shrimpy said, you know, that I did not appropriately portray people, blah, blah, blah. And so he starts with Brandon. To Brandon, I do need to apologize to you for two things. First, you are right. It was wrong of me to use that picture, which it was. It was 100% wrong of him to use that picture. I included that to show you and Windigoon had a closeness. Now, I don't think that's a really good depiction or image to use to depict the closeness. This is one of the things I talked about last time, where Shrimpy seems to have this need to kind of do something in a video and then recontextualize it as like a post hoc creative decision. So in this case, he used a recent picture of Brandon because in reality, he didn't spend like a shit ton of time on this video. He actually spent very little time on this video. So he used a recent picture of Brandon. That was Brandon with his papa, which is super fucking gross to have used Brandon's family and somebody in that case who had just come out of surgery and is elderly. That's not cool. That's definitely above like it's I know in commentary that's not somewhere where you shoot. And he shot there, and that wasn't cool at all, I think. There are other images I could have used to demonstrate that, which, of course, shows lack of research on his part to the people involved, right? For what it's worth, I genuinely am sorry. Second is, I did not do my due diligence into looking into those allegations against you. To be honest, I saw pictures of you with Turkey Tom, with Donut Operator, with Windigoon, with Brandon Herrera, and often with a gun in your hand. I wrote you off. Now, that's really funny and hilarious because if he had done any research into Brandon, he would have known that 3 weeks prior to the video coming out, Brandon had done a video about GunTube. So Brandon did like Brandon's stuff is kind of like a cross between, you know, Channel 5 with Andrew Callahan and kind of like a, you know, goofy Sam Hyde-esque character, right? Where he's like, you know, oh, we're going to slap the bag, get fucking drunk, blah, 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 right? But the thing is that Brandon's always been a very positive person. He puts out a very positive energy. He seems like a very nice and genuine guy. He seems very sweet, in my opinion, right? And so he did a video about GunTube, which you can see on Brandon's channel. I'll actually pull it up right now. I don't know why every time I click on a channel icon, it brings up the fucking... Oh, I'm not subscribed on to Brandon on here. Let me do that. So 3 weeks ago, you can see that it says Brandon did a video about inside the world of gun YouTubers with Brandon Herrera and Donut Operator. So he had done a piece on that, right? But Brandon has also done videos about like, hanging out with people who live in the projects, you know, what it's like to live in like impoverished areas. And he obviously takes like a very comedic way with it, but he's always genuine and very inviting to these people. He went to the gathering of the Juggalos, shit like that. So he's covered quite a lot of variety with people, right? So to say that he is a gun tuber is ridiculous. And it only takes 5 seconds to kind of figure out some of like what Brandon does, right? It's very easy to figure out what he does. And it would take somebody who's either being disingenuous or not researching, of which he wasn't researching. So, you know, he wrote him off, but he was willfully ignorant. This guy in his video talking about all the research he does didn't do the bare minimum of research to figure anything out. And in fact, ended up repeating talking points of Sneako's, which those allegations are propagated by Sneako, who is not a reliable narrator in the slightest. In fact, by all intents and purposes, Sneako is basically just a grifter. So here we go, having him accidentally promoting Sneako's talking points, as well as not looking into who Brandon is at all. Yet for some reason, he did all this research into these people saying that they're alt-right. Yeah, it's very ridiculous that this fucking guy and Sneako ended up being on the same side, which is absolutely shameful and ridiculous. I did not feel you were worth my time, and that was a result of the company you keep. So, okay, he says, first of all, I don't know who Brandon hangs out with. I really don't. And it's not really my place, right? But it's very hilarious. Here's what you do. People remember, and let me, now, this isn't to say that this apology is good. I don't think, you know, we're going to dissect every single piece of this. But people remember the beginning and the end of what you say. So if the beginning of your apology to Brandon is you saying, like, oh, I saw that you had a closeness with Windigoon, and then you say, I'm sorry, now you've put the apology in the middle of your apology to Brandon. And then you continue to go on and talk about Brandon, right? And then, in my opinion, insult him again. Which is ridiculous, right? So it ends up that he puts like the worst foot forward with the apology, has the apology in the middle, and then continues to get into beef with it. Ultimately, sometimes it's better to just be like, I've made a mistake, sorry, and then walk away, right? You don't need to have to like play all these semantic games because you can't take yeah, it's a reverse compliment sandwich. That's a really good way to put it. That's a really good way to put it. I did not feel you were worth my time, and that was a result of the company you keep. That is a guilt by association. He's saying it without saying it there. That's basically what it is. Ultimately, that failing is on me, though, in how I presented that. No, the failing is that you assume that people can't hang out together if they have disagreeing beliefs. Now, generally speaking, people tend to gravitate towards people with the same beliefs. I tend to hang out around people I disagree with quite a bit. It's just a nature of like being a drama tuber, and also in real life, I tend to lean a lot more left than some of the friends that I have here. And then prior to that, I ended up leaning probably more right because in college I was around I was around a lot of like very left-leaning people, but I kind of find myself being on the opposite end. But you shouldn't just stick yourself in a
Axis
hole with one group of people.
1247 celebrates 8 months of membership. Like and subscribe. Buy Diesel's coffee. Give Nanny money.
There we go. Guilt by association is really, really just... In this case, it's a very easy, logical pitfall, right, to avoid. And he fell right into it and is continuing to do that right now. Um, you know, I don't think most people would like Brandon for like if Brandon was actually right wing, and maybe he is a little right wing, but if Brandon was the kind of right wing in Praise of Shadows thinks he is, they would not want to associate with Brandon. Brandon associates with people of color. Brandon associates. Actually, Brandon, I think, has openly said, like, when he's had sex with women of color. So that's already. Well, there's a large contingent who do as I say, but not as I do about the people that they sleep with. But you know, we're not talking about Nick Fuentes today. But you know, it's just Brandon is not the archetypical like fuddy-duddy conservative that he seems to present himself as.
Money for mods.
Okay, the next part of this is you using homophobic language to me, though, and calling me a low testosterone freak does not change my opinions about you. Okay, now I gotta say that in Praise of Shadows through the first stone. Oh. I know, I keep meaning to get around to Keffels, but then this happened, and I stream like 4 times a week, give or take a day, right? Uh, yeah, when does low testosterone equate to being gay? That's a great point. I know plenty of gay men that yeah, twinks, but that doesn't even listen. Sorry, gay men. We gotta all shuffle you into a room and check your testosterone levels. Please make your way in there. Who cares about Keffel's yawn? I mean, it's kind of old news by now, right? I still haven't watched the Mudahar video. I know most of the stuff that is in the Mudahar video, but I just think it would be fun to see some of the more goofy shit. Really, talking about Keffels is an excuse to talk about Tipser. That's why you talk about Keffels. Because in reality, what you want to talk about is Tipser. Yes, so I said this last time where this guy, you know, the low T has nothing to do with homophobia. Making that connection makes him seem more phobic than Brandon. Yeah, for some reason, this guy seems to have some weird internalized homophobia. Did I send you the leaks I got? Maybe. I'll oh, the stuff on Tipster? Yes. But yeah, having low testosterone and being gay is like 2 separate things. Those are not equatable at all in any sense of the word. I don't get that, period. My base thoughts remain the same. And okay, yeah, I kind of got off track because I thought the low T stuff was like really ridiculous. You threw the first stone. When people, are we sure this guy isn't right wing? Yeah, he might be like, you know, closeted or. And so the conversation about this, right, started because of In Praise of Shadows. In Praise of Shadows threw the first stone calling Brandon alt-right. Now, when you call someone alt-right and you are a quote-unquote leftist, not a liberal, a leftist, when you call someone alt-right, you're calling them like a fascist, a neo-Nazi, or a terrorist, or all 3. So, I don't think it's a stretch for Brandon to be very offended at that statement, right? I don't think it's a stretch at all. So, him calling you low T, I would argue, is still less of a bad thing to say than calling somebody alt-right, because I think the connotations of alt-right imply criminal, right? That's what I've seen. We've covered a lot of alt-right guys here on the channel. Some of them are probably criminal. My base thoughts remain the same, even though I should have made them differently and not let that cloud my writing. He really exudes a starving artist stereotype. So here's probably the worst part, right? Now, again, I know what's in the Keffels video because I remember when this stuff happened the first time, right? To Mudahar, your thumbnail art was transphobic. I have nothing else to say to that. Another thing, right? Speaking of the he seems to have this internalized like homophobia that he's projecting out into the world. The image of Keffels that Just a Worm did. So Just a Worm, I think either his Twitter was shut down or he was flagged until it was deleted. Not good. But Just a Worm draws everybody very ugly, right? You hear this guy refuses sponsorships? Great, then I guess he could starve as far as I care. Just a Worm makes art of people that is deliberately ugly. That is like his thing. It had been his thing since he had started his account. And the reference image used of Keffels, right, was literally just an image of Keffels. And they were like pixel peeping the image, being like, oh, this is being used like unfairly, or is being credited unfairly, right? Worm's Muda art makes him look like he's missing teeth. Yeah. Right? But the problem with it and the discourse around it is that people are assuming it was like done to be like, you know, oh, they're mocking genders, like Keffel's gender, because she's a trans woman. But when people are talking about it, they kind of frame it in a way that makes them look transphobic, right? It's like looking at somebody that does like caricatures, like political caricatures, and going, well, these are all such bad representations of the person. Well, caricatures amplify the aspects of an individual, okay? And that's what Worm style is. There are tons of different artworks of people that he's done. Some people have paid for it. I think Nicholas Diorio paid for his Worm art. And yeah, he looks like Jabba the Hutt. And I mean, listen, Nick is a big guy. That's exactly what you would accentuate, all right? So this, to Mudahar, your thumbnail art was transphobic. I have nothing else to say to that. Is just perpetuating the idea that Keffels is ugly. That's it. Like, that just perpetuates this, like, notion that Keffels is ugly and that image is an accurate representation. Now, do I think it represents her internal character? Probably. But on an external side, I think Keffels is very pretty. So I don't know why. I don't know where that comes from, and my only answer is like, well, it must just be that, again, this is like an internalized personal opinion this person has, right? So Keffels is ugly on the inside, but she's not bad looking. Yeah, literally. Quote, ugly with masculine features is the crazy thing to say to a trans woman's face while attempting to defend her. It's the funniest shit to see. Yeah. All right. I always try to do my best. I dropped the ball here and how I presented this. My heart was in the right place. What kind of cope is this? This should have not been in this at all. There was no reason to include this. This is completely self-serving to yourself. You should have not published this part of the apology, even though it's bad. My heart was in the right place. I tried to live my life with integrity. I doubt you do. Okay, here's the thing. Nobody goes through their life thinking, I'm the villain. Right? No one goes through their life going, I'm the villain. That doesn't happen. Right? And saying I try to live with my life with integrity. Integrity is by action, right? And when you damage your reputation, you need to go back and build that up from the ground up. There's nothing you can do by saying that, like, you still have integrity or anything like that. You just kind of have to, that's, again, something you have to take on a chin, because reputation and respect is something that is earned and given by people. It is not something that you exude yourself. You act with integrity, and as a result, people respond by saying that guy is deserving of respect, right? And I do think it came from a very personal and petty place for the Wendigoon video. it's very clear it did, because as you saw in the part 2 that we watched in his video, he was receiving a lot of hate. A lot of people were calling him the F slur, various other things, right? And he internalized that over a long period of time up until he could expend that over at Wendigoon and various others. Okay. I will always believe in trying to do the right thing and standing up to things that I do not believe in. Okay. In praise of Shadows, you cover horror. I understand that there's an intersection of horror and politics, and the discussion can be had. And I think it's completely worthy of being on the table. But, right? I don't know if the platform of media analysis is what you want to dedicate how you tackle politics. If there's something we've noticed by the people we cover on these streams, they're like trying to tackle politics through a really surface level way, right? And for example, with this is like, oh, I think the video games are political, right? I think video games are political. And that is such like a surface level way to engage with politics. It has nothing to do with policy. It has nothing to do with actionable things that happen. It's not dealing with any of like the public zeitgeist topics of it. It's just like, my opinion is that Assassin's Creed has gone woke. Like, which that one is always really funny, because if you play the first Assassin's Creed, they say that it was made by like a multicultural team of blah, 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 blah. He said a lot of things about the cannibal family in The Hills Have Eyes. Did I say something cringe? Why are we clipping me? What did I do? Internet brain rot. I'm like dying today. Let's see. I was overcome with anger because I think it's incredibly dangerous that there's a man in horror that you cannot criticize. Diesel, everyone is always cringe. Drink water. I won't drink so much caffeine today that I die, but I know that I need to keep my energy up for stream, okay? That's just how. Stop drinking energy drink. My soul runs on Hitler drank water. Well, I tweeted out the video of I need to derail the stream for like 5 seconds to play this video again.
I looked up to Hitler, man. I know a lot of y'all might say that's weird, but you know, me being a leader and a killer, like, you know, we admire other leaders and killers. You know what I mean? That man, hey, he invented roids, he invented Mercedes Benz, he invented HKs, Uzis, all type of stuff.
Guys, look at all the stuff. Look at all the stuff Hitler invented, guys. Look at all the cool things Hitler did. Cali Muscle, certified convict. Cali Muscle, certified convict, supports Adolf Hitler because he made Mercedes Benz. Which, by the way, he apparently drinks breast milk. Which I don't know if that's true, but I hope it is, because that's really funny. All right, let me go back to what I was reading. Okay. Yeah, Homelander Andy over here drinking his breast milk. I have a friend, guys. Okay, I'm not about to say I have a friend who drank breast milk. That's not what I'm about to say. I have a friend who's a dad, right? And he's got young kids, and he's like, breast milk smells disgusting. He's like, I don't understand how people could drink that. It smells really weird. Was the friend you? I've never been in a position like that, right? And he's like, it's warm, it's strange. So but yeah, I have a friend. Okay, bag more, brag more. No, it's true. It's true. It's true. I'm sure my husband accidentally drank some. Accidentally. I'd try breast milk. You're a brave soul. You're a brave soul, chatter. Very brave soul. How much did you pay for your friend? No, I play games with him all the time. Not Creed. He's one of the other guy friends that I haven't brought on stream before, okay? It smells like nothing. Is he good or do my senses suck? He sweared up and down that his ex's breast milk smelled. They weren't his ex at the time, but he did smell it, and yeah. Can we stop talking about breast milk? I can talk about whatever the fuck I want. It's my stream. There's some cope here. I like unpasteurized milk, so maybe breast milk is good or something. I don't know. That's like when you convince yourself you want to do something. Like you're like, I'm not really like about this, but like I can see the appeal. I can see the appeal. Yeah, so your diet can affect how your breast milk smells too. It's based on your hormones and the stuff you're consuming, but you're not gonna like get your baby drunk. Like it was a long we all like sat down. It was like a long multi-gender conversation, by the way. Multi-gender conversation. All right. Anyway, back to the subject at hand. I was overcome with anger because I think it's incredibly dangerous that there's a man in horror that you cannot criticize without being called an F-slur for days on end. Okay. His criticisms of Windigoon were very ridiculous back at the time. Basically, his thread about Windigoon at the time is kind of a truncated version of his video. Stuff about the Windigo, which you've seen, and, you know, that's not really my place to comment on, but, you know, I'm of the opinion that culture is fluid. And, you know, stuff about his beliefs or whatever, which he's never really like specified outright. And I don't think there's some weird, like, the internet feels the need to know every single thing about a creator, and that's like something to like. Do you really need to know? Not really. Just like be an adult and like why do you care, right? Um, I'm gonna tell. I'm gonna tell one of the D&D girlies to yell at Diesel about keeping water next to his energy drinks. He'll listen to them. Right. So literally, like, it's just about he may be or maybe not conservative. Which, by the way, they're liberal Christians. By the way, I know liberal Christians. I've met them. Okay, I've met them. But yeah, it's like he was called an F slur for days on end because he made a schizophrenic Twitter thread. And of course, like every single Tom, Dick, and Harry on Twitter is gonna decide to jump in on the conversation, right? So again, and another problem here is that he's saying that Windigoon is directly responsible for what his audience does. And to some extent, you become a reflection of your audience, and your audience is a reflection of you. But after a certain level, you can't control every single crazy who passes through your doors. There's some absolute lunatics in the chat right now, but like I can't control all of these guys. Anybody who's been around on my streams knows that I'm a horny fucker, you know? I don't know of another way to explain it. So that's like part of the community and part of the in-jokes and part of everything, right? Not to say that those people shouldn't, like I would assume and would hope that you guys wouldn't go around calling people an F slur, but you know, if there was 1 million people in chat watching right now, I couldn't control all of them, period. I just couldn't. But I did let my anger affect my overall quality in the presentation of these events. I still think that is dangerous. I still think it should be talked about, but I should have worked at this to make my thoughts more clear and professional.
FPS Diesel is a Pertric Latinx alt-right defender, shrimp.
Axis, I hope your socks get wet. Right, but it's like... And another thing, when we talk about the word dangerous...
Diesel, be realistic. You can't control anyone in chat. They control you.
Yeah. Yeah, you got a point, cool anime girls. You got a point. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you guys do control me. It is peer pressure. Yeah. Yeah, there are plenty of moderate, accepting, liberal Christians who are shrimpy to decide that Windigoon isn't one of them. Yeah. I've also met gun-toting liberals. Like, the variety of political depth that exists in America is much larger than these, like, yuppies believe, right? I don't know why they seem to think it's very partisan, but the degree and, like, difference between people is... It's varied. Yeah, I know that seems like a very simple sentence, but I think a lot of people don't realize that because they're so focused on their one place, right? They're so focused on their group. And they just kind of develop a lot of things. I think Windigoon's political ideology is pretty evident when you look at where he lives, the messages of his videos he makes, etc. I feel like a lot of Zoomers make Ted Kaczynski jokes. I don't know if that's completely relevant. Also, again, geography determining politics is a thing that exists, right? But the problem is that we're assuming that everybody that we come across is the statistical average. There's the possibility that he's not, right? There's a lot of things that you don't know about Windigoon. So it's ridiculous and absolutely, it's literally an impossible task to sit here and make judgment calls on somebody's political beliefs when they don't go around speaking them. I've given my political beliefs. I'm certain that you guys could try and place me, but the problem is that I've covered both sides of the political spectrum on these streams, so I think a lot of you people would struggle to actually place me anywhere. But gun-toting liberal here, well, that's partially due to the area I live, rural North America. Yeah. Yeah, I would argue that based off of what I've seen, which isn't as much, right, is that Windigoon is probably moderate. Moderate, left, libertarian, left-leaning. Is that what you're putting me as? That's a pretty good one. Libertarian, socialist, Diesel. No, you're gonna put me in the same camp as fucking Vosh. Don't do that. But yeah, it's like the reason that these people act like this is because, you know, you kind of get into like a political group and then the out group becomes the most extreme thing. Because when you make the out group the most extreme thing, it's very easy for you to separate yourself from everybody else, right? And also, yeah, I got completely off topic from this, but the concept and conversation of danger is very, very frustrating. Diesel is a bottom sub. Sometimes he reaches bottom switch, but it's rare. Right? But the yeah, okay. Yeah, that's a nice one. I'm actually an anarcho-primitivist. I am also a hypocrite by wearing glasses and using a computer. I should be living in a cave. Assigned bottom by chat. Yeah. Well, I was assigned bottom by the gay sex chart. But the concept and discussion of danger. People talk about danger in politics at a level that is ridiculous. Danger to me is bodily harm to myself or my family, right? So that is a very, like, actual danger to my being. But when these people talk about danger, they mean it in, like, such a loose sense that it doesn't really mean much. And I think we need to either come up with a new word or remove it from the vocabulary of political discussion, because it is not reasonable to use at all. To call Windigoon's content dangerous would be pretty ridiculous. What I could say as if it's dangerous is like the conspiracy theory videos. But if you watch those conspiracy theory videos and take it away that it's like a promotion of that, then you probably are an idiot, and I don't know how to help you. So, what's the gay sex chart? I missed that subject. Here, I'll go pull up the gay sex chart right now. Hopefully it's not buried. Let's see. Okay. Holy shit. So here's the YouTuber gay sex chart. Justin Wang is a top dom, skewing more towards Switch. Philip DeFranco is basically a top Switch. Alex Jones, the top dom, is really fucking funny. Windigoon, you can see, is a bottom sub. Bottom sub. Not a lot of melanin in this chart. Well, okay, it was written from the perspective of one gay man, and clearly he swings towards white dudes. I'm brown enough to be on here. I'm definitely on here. I remember I'm on here. I know I'm fucking on here. There I am. I'm a dom bottom. So I skew dom to bottom. Who's the guy towards the top? I don't know who everyone here is. Shadiversity is a top dom. Chris Raygun is a bottom dom. Andrew Worski is the ultimate dom bottom. Ben Shapiro is the ultimate bottom sub, by the way. That is not Tipster, that is Nicholas Fuentes. All right, let's add a black man. Where is LTG on the chart chat? Low tier god is definitely like a top dom, honestly. But yeah, so that's the YouTuber gay sex chart. Which Windigoon made a joke about. As did I. And apparently, Wendigoon making a joke about this obvious joke is a problem, right? Someone send me a message. Damn, I never finished my gay sex chart. You should totally finish that gay sex chart. But yeah, it's like, I don't think if he restructured the video, I think the very thesis, let's talk in essay terms because you're a video essayist. The very thesis of the video was not well thought out. You went into the project from a position that was not the best from an academic standpoint. Ergo, the very collection of it was bad. Kat, who's in the chart? So, Kat, I would argue you should add the rest of the colorful characters that come onto the FPS Diesel streams to be on the chart. I want to be in the chart. I also think it was telling that the bulk of what I said has not actually been addressed at all. That is not true. Basically, everybody tore this video apart line by line, okay? I sat in calls where multiple people watched In Praise of Shadows video together and dissected it to ourselves line by line, okay? So everybody did watch it, okay? I also think it's telling that the bulk of what I said has not actually been addressed at all, and that my main criticisms were instead about details that I got wrong. Okay, here's the thing. Many of the criticisms were instead about details that I got wrong. Why do you think people are criticizing the things you got wrong? Is he stupid? Does he understand what he's saying? Like... were instead about details I got wrong, such as the nature of Brandon's work. I feel like it's important to note, even if I was off in some details, mentally I've grown very tired of conservatives picking apart my work for 2 years. I am worn down. Okay, and then here's like the ultimate blood in the water statement. If you are in internet blood sports, if you are in internet drama, and you say, I'm tired of people criticizing me and picking me apart. If you say, I'm tired of people picking me apart, I'm worn down, that's blood in the water. You just sold yourself up a river without a paddle. Now everything you do is being categorized. I'm going over this apology line by line. I've been on stream for 53 minutes and 8 seconds, and I have gone over every single little bit of this apology line by fucking line. Okay? You do not want to do this. This is the worst way you could have done an apology. But yeah, it's like telling that the bulk of what I said has not actually been addressed at all. The bulk of what you said was majority you complaining. 2/4 of the video were complaining about your status currently. Okay? That's half of your content. So people criticizing the wrong parts is exactly what criticism is. It's not to criticize the parts that are correct. Like, what do you want? Like somebody to jerk you off for being correct? But this was beneath me. This was a product that began with The Hills Have Eyes, ultimately. I made a video to say that even if Windigoon did not harbor hate, that his base was made of it, and that he was comfortable making money from that. Again, I would argue that, listen, Windigoon is clearly a Christian, but Windigoon, for all it's worth, inhabits the positive aspects of Christianity that we don't often talk about anymore, right? Or don't often get exposed to as much, given political discourse in current year, right? I would argue that he's a very accepting and very kind soul. That is all I've gotten from Wendigoon. I think most people would argue that that is the case, right? He is comfortable making money from that. It's like him saying that he makes videos like, I don't know, like Shadiversity. Like, there are guys that actually are hate mongers. We've covered people who are self-identifying chuds that don't believe in race mixing. Okay? It's such a waste of energy. It's such a waste of directed anger. Because it doesn't take a genius to figure out what kind of person it is. Right? I think we can figure out pretty well whether or not a YouTuber is like an actual like racist. Because when you're a racist, you're pretty fucking loud about it. That's what I've seen. Diesel, have you read Windigoon's comment on the dude's video to chat? Yes, I did. I read it last stream. Right? So I would argue that this is a complete mischaracterization of Windigoon, Windigoon's content and audience. And again, like I've said, I really don't think Twitter is an accurate representation of anybody's audience. And that the people acting out and saying hateful things to him are not representative of the whole, right? Again, there are crazy people in everybody's community, right? I can't control every single crazy person in my community. I just can't. Like, obviously, I have values that I want my audience to carry, right? That I would prefer. But ultimately, at the end of the day, you guys are your own entity, right? Today, I'll be taking that section of the video down. I'll be gone for a month while I recharge and work on projects at a slower pace. I thought it was important to talk about this. I still do, but the way I went about it was beneath the normal standard that I hold to myself. And as to my audience, I apologize for that. Okay, so 1, he did not go away. He just receded into his Hugbox Discord. Okay? And after he receded into his Discord, he continued to comment on it. Another thing is that In Praise of Shadows says that his videos take about a month to produce. I would argue that is true. But another thing I feel is worth mentioning is that his videos do take about a month to produce. So if he says he's going away for a month, he's just going away to work on a video as he would do every month. How much of a slower pace can you work on projects? I don't really know, but when you're on a one video a month time scale, you leaving for a month and then uploading a video a month later is like you never left, if that is the time scale of when you produce videos. So I don't know why he said that. I think he said it with the intention of us not realizing that that's how long it takes for him to make a video, but that's very disingenuous in my opinion based on the wording there. Again, he also did continue to talk about this in various other fashions on different platforms, in particular Discord, right? The thing that made me uncomfortable about Windigoon for a bit was the Boogaloo Boy naming thing. However, he's explained it, and also people can grow apart from their more extreme friends. I think another part worth mentioning about the Boogaloo Boys thing is that In Praise of Shadows credited Windigoon with starting a terrorist organization. And Windigoon would have been like 15, 16. And it's ridiculous to sit around and say, oh, this teenager started a national scale terror organization. So that's not reasonable. Like, when you just think about it, it predates Windigoon by a decade. Yeah, it doesn't... It's really outrageous. It doesn't take a genius. This is like simple arithmetic that you just need to put together. He wasn't 15. He was 10 to 12. It is funny, though. Yeah. Ay. Windigoon used his time machine to do it, duh. Is this the... Oh, as for my audience, I apologize for that. Here's the last one. If you felt that you've been mischaracterized, that was not my intention, and I'm genuinely sorry. Is that to his audience or just to the people he's accused? Because he continued to mischaracterize people in this. There are many more ways to talk about this that could have been done professionally. And as with anything in life, I'll use this to learn and do better. I care so much about horror. It is my life. And I grew tired and scared of seeing hate grow on the fringe of something I care so deeply about. Horror is about kindness. Horror is about love. Until next time, Zane. Okay. There's just so much there. I don't... Yeah, all these people thought they were mischaracterized. And yet you say sorry to them, but you don't really say sorry to them. You know, you could have been more professional. Well, like, here's the thing. Zane, Shrimpy, if you want to talk politics, go make a channel for politics. Okay? Just do it. I see a lot of these people that are like not cut out for politics, like games journalists or something, and they talk politics all the time. It's clearly what they're passionate about, but they just choose to like. His name is Zane. Yes, his name is Zane. He said it himself. It's right there, Zane. But yeah, after that, he made a post on YouTube, which he took down, by the way. So I think he'll be fine. I think he'll be fine. Some people are like, oh, his career's over. If this guy goes back to uploading, he'll be fine. This isn't like an Illuminati thing. He doesn't have any, like, preconceived level of, like... He doesn't have to be the guy who defends the rights of consumers or something. He's not the consumers guy, right? He's not that guy. He's not business practice guy. He's just, I review horror movies guy. One last quick note. Hey, everyone. I've already publicly addressed this on Twitter and Patreon, but I thought I would do one community note before I left. I have decided it is best at the moment to take down the entire bad conservative horror video, and the reason he's doing that is because everybody is going over it word for word, but don't worry, it's already been archived in multiple ways. It does not represent me and who I wish to be as a person or a creator. I admit that I messed up pretty badly in my delivery and made up a lot of mistakes, and I'm really sorry for that. If I could do it again, I obviously would have done everything differently. This kind of content is not my forte. Then why did you do it? And I have avoided it in the past because of that. After being harassed in December by Wendigo fans and called slurs dozens of times. Okay, I got another thing. I get called things all the time. The mods get it sometimes too, but I still see it a lot of the time, right? And I thought like it was really funny because I've developed very thick skin. I've had people call me everything from like, I mean, I you know, just pick a word. I've been called it. So it's very ridiculous. It's very ridiculous to like, I can't imagine being a creator on the internet and being still so like, I am confident in myself. I am not worried or concerned about the opinions of strange fucking yahoos that come walking through. Obviously, I give a shit because I need my audience to like me if I want to make money. But like every Tom, Dick, and Harry who passes through, I just can't muster up the care. And people who I don't respect, I don't want to like be accepted or like be liked. Because why would I want the respect of someone who already didn't like me? I'm an adult, not a teenager. I don't need every single person to like me. Okay? Like, giving power to the 0-follower Andy on their 50th sock account is insanity. Yeah. I acted out of hurt and acted in a way uncharacteristic of myself. Some people have described the video as being very raw, but with that comes an element of it being unbaked. Who called it raw? Who called it raw? What do you think you are? You're not Coppola. You're not Scorsese. You're Zane. Zane Nobody. That's what your name is. Zane Nobody. I didn't do the level of research I should and normally would have done. I messed up and fully acknowledge that in every way, so I'm taking it down. At the same time, I do not believe the harassment I have received these past few days has been called for based on what I have done. You are an idiot. You're an idiot. You're an idiot because you made a bad video and you accuse people of being terrorists when they were children. Any criticism of my work is fair, and I accept and welcome and own that. What is this double speak? None of the, like, you've received harassment, but it's criticism, and I own it. So is it harassment or criticism? Have people criticized you or not? Like, what is this double speak? Okay, you can't have your cake and eat it too here. You can't do both. We are all measured by our words and our actions. I do think it is dangerous that these creators do not tweet about or acknowledge the obvious situation at play. What do you mean? there's so many creators who have said, yeah, people calling you the F slur is bad. Which, by the way, calling him the F slur is bad. But he is broke. He was the color of a shrimp in a video. And he is acting like he has mighty low testosterone. But this doesn't mean you go out of his way. This doesn't mean you go out of your way and insult him. He doesn't need you to do that, right? But yeah, it's very soy. I'll be fine. This is the last thing I say before I log off for a while. That was a lie, by the way. I want to reevaluate what I want my work to be, how I want to stand as a positive force within horror, and how to best be myself. Here's the thing. When you do politics, you're kind of negative a lot of the time. That's just the reality of it. If you want to be a positive influence on the horror community, you probably want to be someone who uplifts horror rather than talk about all these weird politics and all that shit, right? Again, for my mistakes in my video, I am sorry. I'll be back again, stronger and better self for both me and you. That's so ridiculous. We've covered so many apologies on this channel too. And the more I see it, the more everything is just the same, and the harder it is for me to muster up like empathy for it. Like, I understand the pain of being insulted by strangers on the basis of, I don't know. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that In Praise of Shadows is probably gay. I don't know if he is. He just seems to be very offended by the F slur and things like that. And I get it. I've had people call me things on the basis of my race that have been very offensive. But on the internet, you just kind of learn, like, all right, well, like, why the fuck do I give a shit what, like, sock account Andy, a sign gay by Diesel? He's the one that's offended about the F slur thing. I don't know, like... Is it offensive to insult you for the goblin thing? No. Well, you see, chat, I'm also a masochist, so, like, that's, like, my favorite part, you know? Yeah, he and Synthetic Man can enjoy Fudacock together. Maybe the way we solve the political divide, guys, is we set up Synthetic Man and In Praise of Shadows on a date, and they can fuck each other. Also, we know. We can tell. We know this about you. Yeah, he needs to touch a whole damn forest. D-Gen recognize D-Gen. I completely forgot my train of thought. Anyway, the point of the matter is, you know, this guy is assigning a lot of blame, and I understand and I get it. Apparently does have a partner. It is, you know, I understand and I empathize with him feeling offended about those things. But there's a certain point when you have to kind of like knuckle down as a YouTuber and just go, I won't engage with that. I'm better than that. I'm not going to bother with it. I don't care. Right? And you develop calluses so you can deal with those parts of the job. Because there's so many positives about the job that you can ignore those negatives, because really, if you're not a massive piece of shit, the negatives are really small. Like, for every insult I get showered with compliments. You know, like, I get showered with them constantly. So what you're saying is we should bring back bullying. Bullying never left, but he's somebody that clearly is probably not cut out for YouTube as a job. That's really the gist of it. You know? I think he just can't handle it. He can't handle the ups and downs. You know? Diesel, I'm making the chart. You need to hang out with more Dom bottoms, dog. I do. My friend who is the father is definitely a Dom bottom. He's definitely a Dom bottom. All right, let me go. You really out here streaming when the mods are doing D&D. I'm sorry, mods. I know you're doing D&D, and I'm streaming. Well, let me go. He's making more than his 500 a month. What the fuck? Oh, what is he just bad with money? Okay, so Mod Cloudy put this in the chat, and I'll pull it up for you. Why can't he afford that? His Patreon is almost 2,000. So what is his problem then? What is his problem? Is he just like bad with money? This is another thing. There's a lot of YouTubers that are absolutely horrendous with money, and that seems to be a common denominator on their success in the field, is whether or not they're able to leverage their position as a YouTuber to becoming a wealthy person, to work their way out of poverty. 500 from YT. Patreon is 1,500. He doesn't take a sponsor. If he took a sponsor, he could be making 3K a month easy. He can make 4K a month. At his channel size, he could easily ask for $2,000 from a sponsor that he likes, and get his pick of the litter at his channel size. Ask for 2K, get that up front. Can book those like a month in advance. He does have a free tier. Okay. Does he have a free tier? Well, it doesn't matter anyway, because he earns $1,279 a month. He's earning good money. He's earning decent money. I mean, like, maybe he'd need part-time work on the side, but with his skill level and things, he could easily be making more. He could be doing better. Like, him taking the moral high ground with sponsorships is stupid. That's like almost enough to pay rent. Yes. Yeah, I don't know where the only 500 my ass. Yeah, they're like, the only answer is that he's bad with money. That is literally the only answer. Okay. Pick up some editing jobs. He's very good at graphic design. His stylistic choicing is very good. Yeah, he makes great money. Unironically, in praise of Shadows, No Shit Guides makes more money than me. Okay? I'll tell you how much I made. I'll tell you how much I made between this channel and FPS Diesel. Now, FPS Diesel hadn't been making any money for months. Okay? But this last month, I earned $1,000. That's it. 1,000. That's between everything. Okay? Now, I don't spend a lot of money. I'm very blessed. I get to live at home, right? While I run the coffee business. And again, we started the coffee business out of somebody dying. So somebody needed to die for us to get money, to have the money to start the business. And that helped. Right? Raycon's Magic Spoon, Raid Shadow Legends, etc. are just bad products. They're nothing compared to likes to say of BetterHelp. Listen. I will love all those products for the right price. I play gacha games too, which is which I'm the worst, but my rent is twice that. Well, you also live in a much more expensive state. Right? But you know, like that's like, it's called Raycon because Ray J is like an investor in it. That's why. But when you look at his channel, you can tell like there's a clear sense of stylistic choice. Like, some of these thumbnails are outrageous, but like he's got a good flavor and style, right? I'm a gacha gooner too. I like playing Nikkei. I also play Honkai Star Rail and Dislight. I don't spend any money on them. Diesel, we support you if you want to shill a bad product for a video. Lol, get that bag. Nikkei, Gooner confirmed. Did you see the new soda skin, by the way? I like the look he has going, personally, right? But he could easily go and get like contract work in the field of YouTube, right? Or he could do a lot of things, but he's just choosing to forego money because he's stupid. Okay? With the numbers he pulls, he could definitely still be getting good sponsorship money. These are all bad, by the way. Those are all bad views for his channel. He could definitely do better. He probably needs to do shorts. He needs to really reevaluate his content strategy. But the problem is, YouTubers, and I'm kind of parroting Mr. Beast here. So God forbid I parrot Mr. Beast, you know, the devil himself. YouTubers, when they say the algorithm, you know, my channel's dying, the algorithm isn't favoring me. The algorithm is just what the audience wants, right? It knows what the people want to watch better than the audience, right? So it puts those things in front of them because it can have this whole huge history about you. And that's how it puts content in front of you. And so when people say the algorithm, what they're really saying is the audience. The audience isn't liking what I'm putting out. Well, then maybe you're not doing something correct that gathers the audience. You know? FPS Diesel had been on a steady decline for a long time, still is, which is why I prioritize this channel more, right? Because it's basically supplemented the income of my main channel. But I needed to reevaluate myself and go, no, it's not my audience that doesn't want to follow me over to Twitch, which is very hard to get them to do that, right? I had to look at myself and like really reevaluate the problems I was doing because I was too proud of myself to do things that would have been good for my wallet. And a lot of YouTubers are like him, where they go, why am I being punished? I'm doing everything my audience wants. No, they actually don't. Look at who your audience engages with in Praise of Shadows, and you might find out, oh, maybe they don't actually prefer these things. Actually, we can look it up. We can look up what they're watching. Let's do it right now. I'm so glad I switched to YouTube for streaming, by the way. Interesting. Interesting. So this is a new thing. By the way, this is by our boy Mr. Yeast, right? There's a lot of anatomy. You have like a horror channel, but this is like a really simple Andy horror channel. Is this gonna open up? No. Okay, fine. He needs to work on this. But like Filmento is a film analysis channel, right? I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of his audience is watching something like Filmento, right? That analyzes films, right? There's other stuff related to horror here. You could probably look at what they're doing and kind of frame your content around that, right? Like this person is talking about horror movies, but they're doing it in a way that's probably a lot more agreeable, right? And I think it's very interesting that he's being paired up with a content and a channel much smaller. Her channel's probably newer. You people can see what I'm watching. This is an invasion of my privacy. Yeah, I can see what all you are watching. I can see all of that shit. Let's see if I can pull up any more stats. We'll pull up Social Blade. Maybe that's on there. Diesel's gonna expose us. I actually, yeah. So I know you guys. There's a lot of iNabber watchers in this audience, which is really interesting. Yeah, Mr. Beast decided to make a YouTube stat consolidation site. Yes. Let's see. Yeah, it's basically the same shit everywhere else. Chat's about to get audited. I gotta audit chat right now. Let's do chat audit right now. Let's go into YouTube Studio. What else is this channel watching? What are the Diesel IRL viewers doing? Huh? Audience. All right. This is actually my stats. So here's my audience stats. Here are my comparative channels. He can see this, by the way. He can see this. We got a lot of Diorio watchers, a lot of Tom Dark watchers, Kristen Ark watchers. Not surprised. We share a pretty big audience. Willie Mack. I'm not surprised. I've associated myself with like all of these people. So I'm not surprised that there's intermingling that's gone on. That was deliberate, right? Like obviously I'm friends with these people, but then also some of them I'm not, right? All I watch is drama and media analysis because those videos are long. Smoky MCC, we've been covering a lot of lol cows, right? Primink, I'm not surprised. And if you go over to the FPS Diesel channel, it's like iNabber. It's more like video essay Andes, which is why I switched to video essays. But I need to start making more content. I've been miserable. So I just haven't made content on FPS Diesel. That's really the gist of it. I can't even stop, like, you know, lying about. I've just been miserable. So there we go. But I'm not surprised that that's the kind of content that it resonates with my audience, right? But he needs to be able to look at himself in the mirror and be able to go, okay, well, that's a fucking problem. Diorio on top. Yeah, well, you know, he's like the Rothschilds of fucking commentary, right? uh, sorry, I need to respond to these messages. uh, Did Diesel freeze from disappointment? No, I'm mad now. I'm mad and I can't tell anybody in chat about any of it, but I'm mad about something completely unrelated to the conversation we were just having, I would like to say. Oh. Hint at it. No. I didn't know you were live. Oh no. No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay that I'm live and you're saying this now. Person, I'm not saying your name. Okay. Oh, okay. I mm-hmm. All right. Hmm. Mm. Tell me, boss. I have memory issues. I won't remember. Show your screen. No, chat. No, we're moving on. I'm putting that all in the off-stream pocket for Diesel to deal with later is what I'm doing. Anyway, Nani was nice enough to collate and tag me into Discord screenies. I'm gonna like lose my fucking mind. I'm so fucking mad. We love to see him mauled. Bottle it up. I am. Drink water. No, no, no. Let me put all the Discord screenies in here.
It's gonna be alright, Diesel.
I wish I could hide my messages on the left-hand side of Discord, because I just want to read my DMs. Or not my DMs, the stuff from the server, without like screenshotting it. We should like the stream, right? Chat is the devil on your shoulder. Hell yeah. I'll do that. I'll do that. Hold on. Let me not doing what chat wants, but there we go. Fuck, this is too small. Never mind. Yeah, I use Firefox. I know there's jokes about it. Ha 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 ha. All right, boom. Wait, what's wrong with Firefox? Firefox is like... Rocky, that is so much fucking money. Thank you so much. That was very
Dollar
nice
for
of you. You didn't have to.
compartmentalization. Don't read. Breath, you got this, boss.
That's very nice of you. I appreciate it. That's very base. Is Diorio leaking again? No, it's not Diorio. I'm just gonna read it out of the Discord. It'll just be easier for me. It might be a little hard for you guys to see. I'll make it a little bigger. Here we go. And then we're gonna move this lower. There we go. All right. That's a little better. We'll just do that for now. It just makes it easier. Hi all. I'll say something more on here tomorrow, but I just want to say I really appreciate everything from everyone. The past few days have been so strange. I'll be back here more often. Diesel,
Kimber Timothy celebrates 10 months of membership. Diesel, I need to know if you saw my meme.
I think I did. If it was in this thread, then yes. Listen, I'm in the server all the time. Anyway, I really appreciate everything from everyone. The past few days have been so strange. I want to be back here more often. To be honest, I'm in a strange place for a long time. I think this video is a reflection of that. I want to get back to work I'm known for, and hopefully things will be okay from here on in. Thank you. I really appreciate this very much. Genuinely, I think I ultimately messed up here. I've been filled with a lot of self-doubt, and honestly, won't ever make anything like this again. I think I'm right ultimately. Okay, so now in private, by the way, despite saying sorry in public, is going around in private saying, I think I'm right still. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. I think I'm right. You're stupid, by the way, for saying this and not thinking that somebody was going to screen this, right? That con was fucking crazy, lol. Genuinely the strangest con I've ever been to. But yeah, it shouldn't be, and neither should be Windigoon's fan base, which is why I made this. That's true. He should have made that video about that con and just done that. It would have been a lot better, and if he packaged it better. I really worry that this change, the people see in me like this hasn't happened before. Also, the kind of war talk drives me insane. I try to stay off of Twitter genuinely, but I do think part of my job is being in touch with what's going on in horror there. I do love and respect all those folks, but the way that they're talking about protecting these things has almost never really been actually real within this genre or necessary. Be ready for the Windigoon fans to be aggressive. I think you'll be fine and have your fan base to fall back to. But things might be a little difficult. Be ready. Don't let them get to you. Fuck off. No, I'm not upset at all. Genuinely, anybody can say anything they want. Okay, I kind of feel like he's talking out of both ends of his mouth when he says that, but whatever. It's not my job to police that, and I think folks should be able to respond to the work in any way they see fit, as long
The
as it
meme
doesn't
about
cross
the
the line.
huskies, my dude, and why I'm sure you need a husky in your life.
You know, huskies cry a lot, but I would love a husky. I want to get a German Shepherd and name him like after one of the Greek gods. Unironically, okay, I wanted to get a pit bull, and I know pit bulls are always like, haha, toddler eating dog. They won't eat a toddler if I trained them, right? But I wanted to get one and name it like Helena or like Clytemnestra or something. But I'm very antiquity pilled, you know, so I love that stuff. And so I just wanted to name my dogs, if I ever got dogs, after, you know, like something Greek, just because that's who I am. And the line is arbitrary that he's describing, by the way, right there. That's like very ridiculous. I don't like that at all. Toddler only diet. Nobody in the video has actually refuted any of what I said, lol. They'll only point out a small individual things that are wrong, but don't go as far to say what I said wasn't right. I don't know if he understands what he just said. So they refuted things that are wrong, but they're not saying that it wasn't right. So do I have to go in my response? Okay, you want me to simplify this for you, Shrimpy? It was not right. It was wrong. You did bad. Bad, Shrimpy. Yeah, he's very arrogant for being such a crybaby. Isn't that the wife of Agamemnon? Yes. Ooh, I would love to name a dog Agamemnon. That would be so great. Holy shit. That's a great name. I'm going to post a longer piece on Patreon soon about the current situation. I want everyone to know that I'm okay, though, and doing all right. I'm just going to lay low for a while, and things will be good. I hope everyone here is okay. I want to hang out again here, and also hear any questions about what's going on, and that anybody else has. Thank you. I'll be good. I already planned for this This was already planned for a while, but the timing worked out well. I'm headed... Okay, so he knew there was going to be backlash. I'm heading to my brother's for a little over a week, so it'll give me time away from being online and give me some peace, I think. Stupid. Unrelated to this, but I've wanted to say that despite everything that's been going on, being pretty beautiful on Twitter, this one's my favorite, by the way. This is one of my favorites. So somebody did a Just a Worm type inspired art that's making fun of Shrimpy with his like horrible fit, right? The weird like goth cowboy, broke back no money guy, right? So when he was being broke back no money, somebody drew a picture of him as being broke back no money. And so he's like, ha 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 ha. I think this is so funny. You know, like the Wojak where like he's like putting on a mask and he's like, I'm not crying. He's literally doing the I'm not crying thing. I'm part of the joke. Which Tipster did as well, by the way. Tipster did this exact thing. Greg said he was just happy to get fan art. That's true. All right. Have you been holding up, if I may ask? I'll be okay. I've had some lonely moments, obviously, but I'll be okay. I wonder if his partner left him and he's like struggling in his own, you know, self-hatred. I could see that being the case. But that's like, you know, parts when I see stuff like that, like I'm not evil. Like I understand. I've been in those lonely moments. I've been in those places. I've been there. All right. I'm a young person. I get it. I've been there. And I feel bad. And I understand that. And I feel it in my heart. But then also you call them a terrorist. So it makes me feel bad for feeling bad for you. But I also want... Like, I understand, right? But... What's up with all these YouTubers using their Discords to serve as therapy? Being a YouTuber is a lonely job. I was talking with somebody recently, and they're like, you know, I get to make all this content and work from home, and it's great, but you know, this is a lonely career, and I don't really get to talk to anybody, so it's very rare to do that. The drama community is actually kind of an outlier where we all talk to each other, because we need to share information for this business to work. Like Nani's shared this around with other creators, and it's just spread from there. But you know, a lot of YouTubers don't get that community, right? But also because of the way the job works, you don't really get to go out and have a third place. You know, you don't go to the bar, you don't go hang out with coworkers after work. A lot of them neglect the fitness and all that stuff, right? So all that stuff kind of compounds, right? And yeah, it makes it bad. It makes it bad. I get it too. Like, I need to make sure that I go to the gym. It's the only way to keep myself sane. You know, I need to know that there are other people around me so that way I don't lose my own personal sanity. I also get to be pretty lucky because we have the coffee company, which has me interact with people more frequently than a lot of other YouTubers. Would recommend deleting Twitter. If you don't want to give the account, give it to someone else and have them change the password so you can't be tempted to doom scroll. Yeah, no, the app's already gone from my phone, lol. Awesome, such a hellhole. Wish I didn't have to use it. Ha, yeah, I never liked it in the first place. Found it frequently to be frustrating. Thought it was necessary to use so that I could stay somewhat relevant, though. I have no idea to what extent that actually did. Probably not much, Lamau. The only time you were talked about is when you were being stupid. But, you know, it's better than nothing, right? Yeah, here's just him, like, waxing poetic with chatters. I'm not trying to add fuel to the fire, so please don't screenshot this and post it anywhere. What is he, stupid? This is lolcow. This is lolcow gene. Like, when we talk about the lolcow gene, this is that. I'm not trying to add fuel to the fire, so please don't screenshot this and post it anywhere. What are you, stupid? What? Like, that's saying, hey guys, can you screenshot this and post it somewhere? Like, what a stupid thing to do, dude. I just get nervous because my Patreon post got leaked online and made the whole situation more intense for a bit. This is the stop making fun of me thing that you don't want to do. Again, I just want to let folks know that Windigoon did type out a response to the situation. He commented on the video, but this was within an hour or two of the video going up. So I don't think that one should fully count because there wasn't a time to reflect on everything going on. What a fucking moron this guy is. He never reached out. There was a lot he got wrong. Even objectively, I would have been happy to clear up, even for a hit piece. For example, my parents were not rich. In a quote, it even reads, I say, quote, my dad lost everything. And that was all before I was born, which is what we said in the stream last time. I never went hungry, but my father cut a lot of corners to make that happen. I don't mind people thinking, quote, I come from money, but it was just one of the many assumptions made. I feel bad for him. The guy seems to have a lot of hate in his heart. That can't be easy on the bones. I don't have any malice, and I meant what I said in my comment on the video. I hope no one harasses him on my behalf. If I make a tweet saying saying that, however, that'll just drive more eyes towards him, and I don't want that, as a lot of people are mad regardless of what I say. I wish him the best and hope he finds what he's looking for. I really do think that's a very adult thing to say, and I do think that does age you. You know, I was a very negative person. I'm a lot more positive now. And I'd say that kind of energy that Zane is putting out is very bad for his health. He needs to stop. Don't get me wrong. I put on an act here on the channel. But, you know, I can't leave here and be that way. You know, because it'll just eat away at you. And it ruins your relationship with the people you love in your life. You just don't want to do that. And Zane's got a lot of that going on. So he definitely needs to get his ass into therapy. He needs to take care of himself. Because, you know, he might be actually a shithole for that video that he did. But you don't want that kind of mentality to fester inside your body because it'll just be bad for you. You don't want to do that. People outside of his circle seem to be seeing this as a bad response. Only time will tell, though. I hate this. I hate this. You know, I expend empathy for these people. This is just like with Synthetic Man, where I really understand how young men become like black-pilled and miserable and like have relationships with you porn instead of the girl next door. And then they say something like mixed race couples shouldn't exist, and then I go, yeah. That's really fucking annoying. I really want to feel bad for him, but I can't. You can understand all we want, but they have to be the ones to take the steps out of it. Yeah, obviously. And I think it's frustrating because one of the things with like the quote unquote lol cow gene or lol cows, that's really frustrating for me is sometimes you can see the good in these people and you watch them continually ruin your lives and you're like, you fucking idiot. Like, how do you keep doing this? Right? Like, I've said it once and I'll say it again. Yandere Dev is probably a pedophile, in my opinion. In my opinion, he's a pedophile. There. I could have seen me being friends with him in a different world. He was a very normal guy, liked a lot of the same things I liked. It's such a shame that he became what he became. Because there's a lot of things in him that I think are not terrible qualities. So to become such a fucking piece of shit is so terrible, right? And frustrating. And I like, for me as a drama creator, that adds a like there's a like a comedic tragedy element to a lot of these people, and that's the tragedy. The comedy is that it's outrageous, but the tragedy is like the sheer like sorrow you get from seeing somebody like destroy themselves. I did see a funny comment under this that roughly said, quote, if someone gets called slurs by your fans nonstop, then they do have the right to hate you, lol. I would not hate a creator. It depends. If a creator makes a hit piece on me and their fans come to harass me, I hang out with the drama channels. I'd say I'm a drama creator. I would. I'd wear that badge with honor. I know a lot of people wouldn't, but that's what I am. And I know I do a damn good job of it. Like, okay, let me tell you a story. I am on speaking terms with Keemstar. I'm not friends with Keemstar. I'm on speaking terms with him. Honorary drama frog. I am a self-proclaimed drama frog. And I'm on speaking terms with Keemstar. When I was 14, I did a video on Keemstar because the 14, 15, I can't remember. I was a teenager. It was right around the time when the iDubbbz Content Cop on Keemstar came out. And I did a video on Keemstar. And Keemstar was streaming at the time on D Live or something like that. And Keem reacted to my video on stream when I was a teenager. And he sent hundreds of people to harass me. Like, actually sent people to harass me. And I got harassed constantly. The shit I was told was insane. But now I'm on speaking terms with Keemstar, and I can't muster up. Like, I'm not even, like, bothered by him. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't really care what Keemstar thinks. I mean, why the fuck would I care? But I will say it taught me a very valuable lesson. All right? It taught me a very valuable lesson to be tough or you're going to get your shit rocked. All right? So when that video came out, I didn't do anything about it. I didn't respond to Keem. I didn't do anything. I just ignored it and went on. Because I knew that if I fed the trolls, it would have been worse. That would have been me stepping on the rake. Like what he's doing right now. What a beautiful friendship. See, I couldn't care what Keemstar had to say after Keemstar didn't understand how a F-22 Raptor works, because he was conflating the cost of production with the cost of flight. And the cost of production for an F-22 is much more expensive than the cost of a flight. This was around a time when there was the weather balloon thing, or the balloon thing, the spy balloon, the Chinese spy balloon. And I was trying to explain to Keem, no, Keem, it's not that expensive. But he just wouldn't listen because Keem's very opinionated. He's like that uncle. You know, that uncle at Thanksgiving. So at that moment I was like, I can't believe I was like worried what this guy was gonna say about me one day, because he's just a little goober. Like, he's just a little goober. I finished the top bottom sub dom chart. The uncle who dates 19-year-olds. So Brantley's like 21 now, by the way, I should say. And also Brantley's a peach. Keem is an old guy, right? And obviously there's a humongous age gap in that relationship. Keem is like a 22-year-old guy trapped in a 40-year-old guy's body. Okay? I don't get it. That's just who he is, right? Let's see. In the YouTube comment, he said he was sorry that people said mean things to me. He did say that to his credit, but I think he could have done more to stop this. I think a tweet earlier would have done a lot of good here. Stupid. That's just my opinion on the matter, though. But this is all dying down, so I don't want to say much on it, because I think all involved would like to move on, lol. I'm not going to commit to this at all, but just an idea. I always talk about some videos taking so much time, and I can't make them. Now that I'm taking time off, I might be able to very slowly do work on that John Waters video in a way that won't exhaust me. That might actually be a very strong project to come back with. This guy is not taking his own advice and getting offline. He actually needs to sign off from Discord, because everything he says is going to be met with adoration and love from his audience. I mean, I was complaining earlier, like literally like 5 minutes ago, and my stream was like yanking my chain about like, oh, you're loved and shit, which is fine, and I appreciate that, but like I don't need it, because I am confident in myself, but he's doing it because, again, he's somebody who's not confident in himself. Just trying to keep folks informed about the situation. He did actually finally explain it in detail on the Boogaloo thing. He explained the detail on the Boogaloo thing a while ago. And you just chose to ignore it then, and you chose to ignore it now. I have a friend, finishing Zane's video on John Denton was a wild experience because blah, 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 blah. I have a friend from the area, and she's excited for 2 videos about her home area in like a week or so. And Windigoon is amazing, but sometimes he just grabs his guns to explain something. Never mind, but he's a keeper. What? Okay, here's the thing. Guns are cool. Swords are cool. Fuck off. That's it. That's my answer. Guns are cool. Swords are cool. Dinosaurs are cool. Mechs are cool. Dude, thank you for the 5 gifted. That was very nice of you. Very based. Now Falgy can finally be a member. The server liked him beforehand. Of course they liked him beforehand. It was only a problem when it was a problem for Zane. How have you been holding up, if I may ask? I'll be okay. Oh, wait. There we go. I read it all. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, everybody. Just a FYI, someone here who is screenshotting conversations and leaking them out of the space. To prevent any of you from being harassed, we all need to avoid talking about Windigoon completely. Nobody in his community has been harassed. He has been criticized for his stupid opinions in his public community Discord that anybody can join. All right? To prevent any of you from being harassed, we'll avoid talking about Windigoon completely from here on out. I like how one of the rules in his server is... This dude lives where hunting is common, doesn't he? He's allowed to have guns. I don't get it. I really don't. I really don't. Does Zane have a community? Yeah, he has a pretty big one. They paying his bills. Fair enough. My apologies for this. No worries at all. That's unfortunate. It's probably for the best not to continue talking about this. Honestly, kind of nervous about the screenshotting. Sorry, never intended for that to happen. Yeah, I don't like this isn't like Illuminati where we were like opping her fans because Illuminati was sharing personal details about her legal case she shouldn't have been speaking about. Um, this is all on Zayn. This is all on Zayn, not on his fans. His fans didn't do anything. They did nothing at all. Why do I have a feeling it's the same guy I flagged as sus? Not Nani's taking like a victory lap here, okay? Naughty, you cooked, girl. You cooked. Uh. Hold on, I need to make this. Fuck, I need to switch back to Firefox. There we go. I didn't want to leak my DMs. There we go. Leak your DMs, Diesel. Leak them. No. Why does everybody want to know? I really don't have anything interesting. What's your Duolingo language? Spanish. There's the little guy's Discord server if you want to be caught up on drama, by the way. My community member posted posted this. This is fucking funny. Okay. What the fuck? So apparently the chat summary is the people are talking about the live stream and the host. They're also talking about the host's relationship with women. Thanks, guys. Holy shit. No fucking way. Holy shit. No fucking way you put Hal in sub bottom, cat. Holy shit. Holy shit. No fucking way. Oh shit. Show the people. Okay, with top subs on. You put Falgy and Cat, and not Cat, or Cloudy on here. I think Greg should be more towards sub bottom. I'm sorry. Joey's definitely sub bottom. So is Chris Raygun is on there. Yeah, Joker. Well, Mishi in general, but yeah, Joker Baby and Mishi both bottom dom. I would probably move Tox more. She is definitely. Actually, no, she's totally a bottom. What am I saying? Tox is such a bottom. It is also a bottom. Chris should be in sub bottom, 100%. I need to send this. I need to send this to them right now. Oh shit. One-eyed Toxic is on here. He should also be more towards sub bottom. Holy shit. And Beavers is totally a top switch, but that's my opinion on that. I'm trying to get my custom emotes to show up in chat. I don't know how to fucking get it to work. Because I'd love for the fucking Chris the Chandler to show up. Chris Chandler. Surprise, so many tops. I'm so proud of this community. I'm so proud of this community. I just sent it to Hal. And she's like, this is outrageous. Is Hal even awake? Yes. Yes. This community is powerful. They are. She should be in British bedtime. I don't know if she'll come and defend herself. I'm gonna try and get her on. She might not right now. I'm a top. This is fucking slander. Beckett. Okay, Beckett was hosting our session 0 today for Vampire the Masquerade. Beckett, you are not a top. I'm sorry. Oh shit. Beckett called out lie. All right, this just in. Halloween has chosen not to defend herself and accept the position of bottom sub. She has chosen to. I am adding flaws to you. Yeah, it's now canon. It's canon. What can I say? It's canon. It's canon. Oh shit, that's fucking funny. Hal said they think Chris is more of a top than me with an exclamation point. And I'm like, yes, that's insane. It's canon now. The chat has decided. She said that she's disappointed, guys. She's disappointed. That's funny. That's really fucking funny. Yeah, canon. I will correct if she comes to defend herself. She's not gonna get on right now. It's too late. Let's see. There's obviously videos of YouTubers refuting the claims made against them. Tons of videos that, I mean, you can go look at on your time. I figured, you know, we'd go over the leaks from the Discord on here just because, you know, that comes from our community, of which I'm very proud of. But yeah, that's bottoms or treasure. Josh is a top dom. Josh is a top dom. Josh is the most alpha Chad to ever alpha Chad. But yeah, I think is there anything else that I might have missed, Nani? Not really. Did you make it through a whole subject today? I think I did. I really wanted to just kind of wrap this one up. But Yeah, we're gonna go over, and I guess we'll just raid Tom since nobody else is live. So there we go. Goodbye, guys. Have a wonderful evening. So take care.